This is John Pettipas. Welcome back. I'm doing it's right now, it's 20 minutes before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Nova Scotia time, on the afternoon of Tuesday, the 16th day of March, 2021. And I'm doing my St. Patrick's Day video. And I have here a lovely green blanket. I normally have a file folder beneath my stuff, but a lovely green blanket. It's from a wonderful Irish lady. So it's a lovely green blanket. I have my green shirt on, gift from a neighbor a few years back. And I have my late good friend Teddy Matty. His widow gave me a bunch of his caps. And I have his John Deere cap, and it's hard to beat John Deere. I guess it's a wonderful product, and they're green. I had a customer in Auld's Cove, Miles Greencorn, beautiful Betty's little brother Miles. And he'd come in every spring to buy his potatoes. What kind you like, Miles? It'd be like different, there's fundy and Irish cobbler and netted gems and red potatoes and blue potatoes. He'd say, John, my name is Greencorn. Miles Green, my name is Greencorn. And my tractor's green, and my truck is green, and I want green mountain seed potatoes. That's pretty good. I can mention that. I spoke to a wonderful gentleman the other day. His name is Green. He's the youngest, him and his late sister, the youngest of a family of 16, and the gentleman's name is Green, from a wonderful family. The descendants of Albert and Catherine Green of Linwood. And you just go across the back country, back of Linwood, Grove and Amati, Settling, you're in the Guysborough County. And let me bear with me a second here. I'm gonna give you a did you know? I haven't done that for a while. This is from yesterday's Halifax Herald. This week in history. Did you know that on March 17, 1945, the HMS Guysborough, that was a vessel during World War II. Again, March 17, 1945, the HMS Guysborough was sunk by a V8-8 off the southwestern end of the English Channel. She was the last Royal Canadian Navy, RCN, the last Royal Canadian Navy, RCN, ship lost overseas in World War II. And the name of that ship was called the HMCS Guysborough. And that brings me to my next story on Irish. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and the Greens, the Greens, Scottish, Irish. Next time I speak to anybody, I'll ask them that. Greens, with a name like Green, they probably have some Irish in them. And an Irish potato, and by the way, we had earlier, I had a video on Meghan Markle, the royal family crew, or I think the royal, and the true royalty, the late saintly Teresa McClellan and her late brother, the famous McClellan trio, Donald and Marie. So Donald, Marie, and Teresa. Teresa was the last of that beautiful, beloved McClellan trio. And look at an interview on Markle, Meghan Markle. Somebody made a comment. I don't hesitate to say this one bit. I have none, absolutely no time for self-sympathy. This song, oh dear, poor, pitiful me. Who needs that? Everything in his life is relative. It's all relative. A guy complained he had nothing on his feet, no shoes or sneakers or sandals on his feet, until he met a man upon the street that had no feet. And again, it's a bitter cold day out here today. Think of the homeless, and there's the Irish come over, an Irish potato famine. I should have a bag of potatoes here in my props here. They come over from Ireland. They were in this place we have called Roman Valley, Guysborough County. Like this vessel's named after Guysborough. I love Guysborough County, and good things are going to happen. Some good things have happened already, and a lot more good things will happen in this area if we don't have the tree huggers frig it all up. Be it mining, or quarry, or satellite launch possibly, or LNG possibility, or Melford terminals. Lots of good things. Windmill farm. Lots of good things for Guysborough County. John Pettipas loves Guysborough County, and God himself most assuredly does, very importantly. So anyway, there's a place called the Roman Valley. These people are ship landed at Canso on the Strait of Canso, and Canso town. And they come up, and there was Clearys, and Cunninghams, and Mars, and Conleys, and Scots, and a whole number of names that come up, and they all got by somehow. They ate a lot of potatoes. Sometimes there wasn't enough meat, but they all survived. They came over in the early 1840s, which is now 180 years ago. I think it was 1841. So actually 180 years ago this year. So you have to admire those people. Clearys, Mars, Cunningham, Scots, the whole crew. Longs, they're Irish, and they called it the Roman Valley. Lusterdale, Havendale. Leo Marr and his wonderful saintly sister Eileen Wood, who married into the Wood family. They all, Lusterdale, Havendale, Guysborough Interval, right on up. Wonderful people. Wonderful people. There's a church up there called St. Patrick's Church. We have a St. Patrick's Church over here in Merlin. It's now used twice a year for the annual Merlin Pioneer Mass, end of July, and also for the Christmas Mass. Now, here's on a famous saint. In the 5th century, a rebellious young Roman lived a life of luxury in Britain. So that's the thing with the Meghan Markle's crew. They have no right to make snide comments, okay? You can have some admiration for the Queen. I'm not a big fan of the royal family, you know that. But she was with Winston Churchill, and a very young lady, assumed responsibilities, done her job very well over, almost 70 years on the throne. I think it's 68 years plus. Within 2 years, she's going to be 70 years on the throne. Actually, 2 years, since 1953, so 2 more years, she will be 70 years on the throne. And they take, but these here ones, these royals, look at how regular people live. I just have no time for people to have self-sympathy. None whatsoever. I want to make that point clear. We all have some agents in life and do our best. But if the people can come over from Ireland and come to Roman Valley, and they all survived and went on to do well, and they're big families, and Great East, that's another family that's in that area, St. Frank, Great East, so it's just all kinds of great Irish families around. In the 5th century, I repeat again, a famous saint, this is my Bits and Pieces booklet I get every month, a famous saint. In the 5th century, a rebellious young Roman lived a life of luxury in Britain. But when he was 16, he was kidnapped and sold into slavery, shipped across the sea to Ireland, and lived in captivity for 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 years in captivity. Basically, he was a slave, enduring harsh weather and brutal conditions as he tended his master's sheep on the Emerald Isle. Although he arrived in Ireland as an atheist, he claimed to have heard the voice of God speak to him. Shortly after, he converted to Christianity. Although he arrived in Ireland as an atheist, he claimed to hear, and I have no doubt he did hear, the voice of God speak to him. Shortly afterwards, he converted to Christianity. He escaped back to Britain. The man continued to cultivate his spiritual wisdom, and though his family assumed he would go back to a life of privilege, the man heard a different call. He returned to Ireland as a missionary, keen to bring a new and better way of life to a people who had enslaved him. Again, though his family assumed he would go back to the life of privilege, the man heard a different call. He returned to Ireland as a missionary, keen to bring a new and better way of life to a people who had enslaved him. The name of this man, St. Patrick. The name of this man is St. Patrick. And now, the Irish are supposed to have a love of the firewater. The firewater. I have a nice green Cape Breton flag here. This is the actual Cape Breton flag. See all the nice green in it. Isn't that beautiful? Lots of Irish. I spoke to a gentleman in Newfoundland. Lots of Irish in Cape Breton. Place in Cape Breton Island, way up by Rita's Tea Room, up and way between St. Peter's and Soldiers Cove, and the way up to Benyon and Sydney River in Sydney. There's called Irish Cove. They used to make wool there. This is a nice woolen blanket here. It was Irish Cove wool. So anyway, I spoke to a gentleman from Newfoundland around noon hour today. Noon hour their time, 11:30 a.m. our time. They're always a half hour ahead of us, Newfoundland. And they're 1 in 4 people in Newfoundland. You got Fitzpatricks and Antles and a whole lot of them in Burin Peninsula. And there's a lot of Irish folks in the great province of Newfoundland. And here we have the beautiful Newfoundland flag. So homage this afternoon to all the Irish folks in Newfoundland. They love their accordion and jigs and harmonica, and that goes back to Ireland. Anyway, the Irish are supposed to have a love of the firewater. And I know this fellow that takes and back in the early 80s, interest rates are high, and he said to his wife, we got to cut back. We got to start using powdered milk. And I brought my Our Compliments powdered milk here. See? Our Compliments. I use it to make yogurt. Our Compliments powdered milk. Great product. And anyway, so his wife looked at her husband and said, and he's the guy who told me the story. He said, dear, once you start drinking powdered beer, me and the kids will start drinking powdered milk. And her husband didn't start drinking powdered beer, and she kept on drinking with her kids, their family, the real milk. And they celebrated their 50th anniversary a couple of years ago, and the marriage has endured for over 50 years, so they didn't. It didn't affect their marriage. I always keep a little bottle by me. Here. I'm going to stick to the milk. It's actually a jug. It's not a bottle container. It's the good stuff. See it here, folks? It's the good stuff. It's the Scotsburn milk. It's the homogenized milk. It's 3.25% butterfat. So I always keep a little container inside of my desk of the good stuff milk. In fact, I have an expression, lips that touch liquor never touch mine. I'm going to repeat that. Lips that, I'm going to stand up and say this time. Lips that touch liquor never touch mine. Hey, I stick to the milk. I'm not a fan of the firewater. But that said, lots of people are. Not everybody shares my opinion. Okay? And the title of this video today is St. Patrick's Day and Powdered Beer. That should get a few people's attention. Here's Irish pubs closed for St. Patrick's Day in Halifax. Isn't this hellish that biological germ warfare, even the pubs are closed? So with that, I better wrap this up. I say, as Howard Sampson would say, coming home with his buddy Peter, the late great Peter. Howard's a great guy in his own right too. The late great Peter Bro. They're coming home from night shift at the mill, and he gets stuff for his garden spring, and they say, "Top of the morning to you, John Patrick. Top of the morning." So now, top of the morning to Howard and his buddy that's up in heaven now. I'm going to read you. May the luck of the Irish enfold you. May the blessings of St. Patrick behold you. Here's to a good Irish friends, never above you, never below you, always beside you. I like that. Here's to a good Irish friends, never above you, never below you, always beside you. May your blessings outnumber the shamrocks that grow, and may troubles avoid you wherever you go. I'm going to repeat that one more time. May the luck of the Irish enfold you. May the blessings of St. Patrick's behold you. Here's to good Irish friends, never above you, never below you, but always alongside you. And may your blessings outnumber the shamrocks that grow, and may your troubles avoid you wherever you go. And with that, I wish each and every one of you a very happy, holy, be it powdered beer, be it Scotsburn milk, the good stuff, or whatever, a happy, holy, peaceful, enjoyable St. Patrick's Day to each and every one of you wonderful folks. This is John Pettipas, wishing you All the best, and God bless as I wrap up here at about 10 minutes before 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the afternoon of St. Patrick's Day Eve, the 16th day of March, 2021. Please share this video around and have a great St. Patrick's Day, all of you. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye for now.